And Logan Canyon remains closed this afternoon after an early morning avalanche covered a portion of Highway 89 there.
ABC4's Northern Utah correspondent Cade Garner is live from the mouth of that canyon. And Cade, I know you mentioned that could have been much worse. Why is that?
Yeah, it could have been much worse. So luckily no one was injured, but there was a car that got stuck in the aftermath of this avalanche. Lucky for this driver though, a group of construction workers was right behind them. Only a few minutes that they just missed this avalanche, they were able to stop and help pull this driver, or really dig them out of all this snow. The avalanche happening around 6 o'clock this morning at the Dugway in Logan Canyon. Tanner Gittens says he arrived on scene just minutes after it happened and took this video. He and some coworkers were going up to Bear Lake for a job. He says they noticed taillights in the deep snow, a car that was stuck. They took out some shovels and helped dig the car out. He says they worked fast and were able to get the car out in about 10 minutes.
It was a little bit scary, just because it was so dark and the wind was blowing so hard you couldn't see what was above us, which is always scary for avalanche training and stuff like that. Because if it comes down once, chances are you're in that same avalanche path, it could come down again.
Gittens tells me that just moments after they were able to dig this other car out of the snow, UDOT showed up, told them to turn around and quickly get out of the canyon. Now, UDOT's latest estimate for reopening the canyon is midnight tonight. Live in Logan. Hey, Courtney, Emily, over to you.
All right, we appreciate it, Cade, for your coverage. We do want to ask you a couple questions real quick, though, Cade. We know you spoke to someone who drove up to the canyon to Bear Lake. Tell us, did they tell you how conditions were there? And we're wondering how it is.
Yeah, so I spoke with Tammy Marshall. She and her family lived up near Paris, Idaho, which isn't too far from Bear Lake. They drove through the canyon last night. She had a doctor's appointment somewhere here in the valley. And she said that the roads were packed with snow, but they were able to go really slow. It took them about an hour and a half just to get through the canyon. And she wasn't surprised to hear that there was a bigger avalanche today, because she says they saw a small avalanche on one of the mountainsides while they were driving through the canyon.
Okay, and what about the town of Garden City near the Utah-Idaho border?
Okay, so yeah, basically when you just get out of the canyon, you go right down into Garden City. It's a beautiful little town that sits on the edge of Bear Lake. They are actually pretty shut down today. So the mayor tells us that because snow is so bad, because roads are still really icy, they've had to shut down city offices, the library, and he's asking people that they don't leave their homes to avoid getting on those dangerous, slick roads.
All right.
Live in Logan, Cade Garner, ABC4 News.
All right, thank you, Cade.